I slammed the door of Jordan's Brooklyn apartment behind me, my heart pounding like a drum in a thunderstorm, as her words echoed in my ears. Jayla, I've been lying to you, to everyone. The box of old journals I'd uncovered slipped from my hands, pages fluttering like dying leaves, revealing sketches of us together, intimate and unspoken. In that instant, the world tilted, and the friend I'd loved in silence for years wasn't who I thought she was at all. It started innocently enough, or so I told myself. Jordan had texted me that Saturday morning. Hey, room's a disaster. Come help? Pizza's on me. I laughed it off, grabbing my keys and heading over from my tiny walk-up in Williamsburg. We'd been best friends since freshman year at NYU, bonded over late-night study sessions and dreams of conquering the city. She was the straight-laced one, literally, always dating some finance bro or artist type, while I was the openly queer graphic designer, navigating the messy world of apps and heartbreaks. But beneath it all, I'd harbored this quiet ache for her, a flame I kept buried deep, because crossing that line would shatter everything. When I arrived, her place was chaos incarnate. Clothes strewn across the floor, half-packed boxes from her recent move, and dust bunnies claiming territory under the bed. Jordan greeted me with her signature hug, the kind that lingered just a second too long, her vanilla shampoo scent wrapping around me like a forbidden embrace. You're a lifesaver, Jayla, she said, her green eyes sparkling under the fluorescent kitchen light. We dove in, sorting through piles of forgotten memorabilia. Concert tickets from that Foo Fighters show, Polaroids of us at Coney Island, laughing with cotton candy stuck to our faces. As we worked, conversation flowed like the Hudson River outside her window. She talked about her latest breakup with Mark, the Wall Street guy who'd ghosted her after 3 months. Men are exhausting, she sighed, tossing a crumpled shirt into the donate pile. I nodded, biting my tongue on the words I wanted to say. Then why not try something different? Me, for instance. But I played it cool as always. You deserve better, I replied, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Deeper into the afternoon, we tackled her closet, a black hole of secrets. I pulled out an old shoebox, dusty and taped shut, hidden behind a stack of winter coats. What's this? I asked, curiosity piqued. Jordan's face paled, a flicker of panic crossing her features. Oh, nothing, just junk. Leave it. But her voice cracked, and something in me pushed forward. I peeled back the tape, and inside were journals, letters, and drawings. My breath caught as I flipped through. Pages filled with her handwriting, confessing feelings for women, for me. Jayla makes my heart race, one entry read. But I'm straight, aren't I? She snatched the box away, tears welling in her eyes. You weren't supposed to see that. The room spun. All those years of me pining, thinking it was one-sided. And here was proof of her internal war. Jordan, what does this mean? I whispered, my voice breaking. She sank onto the bed, burying her face in her hands. I don't know. I've been fighting it forever. My family, they disown me. And you're my rock. I can't lose you. We sat there in silence, the city noise fading into a distant hum. I reached for her hand, our fingers intertwining like they were meant to. For the first time, hope flickered in my chest, fragile as a new flame. But as the sun dipped lower, casting golden hues across the room, I sensed the shadows lurking, the battles ahead, the truths we'd have to face. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of a love that would test us both to our limits. The next few days blurred into a whirlwind of emotions. Jordan avoided my calls at first, but by Wednesday, she showed up at my door with coffee and apologies. I freaked out, she admitted, stepping inside my cluttered studio apartment, sketches of cityscapes pinned to the walls. We talked for hours, peeling back layers. She confessed how she'd grown up in a conservative suburb in Connecticut, where being anything but straight was whispered about like a curse. My parents are old-school Republicans, she said, her voice trembling. They'd see this as a phase or worse, a sin. I shared my own story, coming out in high school, the rejection from some friends, but the freedom that followed. It's scary but worth it, I told her. As we spoke, the air between us charged with possibility. That night we watched the sunset from my fire escape, shoulders brushing, and when she leaned in, our lips met in a kiss that felt like coming home. Soft, tentative, but electric. No rush, just the promise of more. Yet doubt crept in. Jordan pulled back sometimes, canceling plans with excuses about work at her marketing firm. I tried to be patient, understanding the war waging inside her. But one evening as we strolled through Central Park, hand in hand under the blooming cherry blossoms, she stopped abruptly. "What if this ruins us?" she asked, eyes searching mine. I squeezed her hand. "It won't. We're stronger together." Our relationship deepened quietly, stolen moments in coffee shops and late-night texts. I introduced her to my queer friends at a drag show in the village, where she laughed freely for the first time in ages. "This feels right," she whispered later as we walked home. But beneath the romance, tension simmered. Her phone buzzed constantly with calls from her family, and she'd step away, voice strained. Then came the first crack. At a rooftop party in Soho, hosted by mutual friends, Jordan introduced me as my best friend Jayla. The word stung like a slap. Later, in the cab ride home, I confronted her. "Why hide us?" Tears streamed down her face. "I'm not ready. Give me time." I nodded, but resentment brewed. How long could I wait in the shadows? As summer turned to fall, leaves crunching underfoot in Washington Square Park, our love grew amidst the city's rhythm. We cooked pasta in her kitchen, dancing to old jazz records, sharing dreams of traveling to San Francisco. But the secrecy weighed heavy. One night, after a particularly passionate argument about coming out, she stormed out, leaving me alone with my thoughts. When she returned hours later, smelling faintly of wine, she collapsed into my arms. "I love you, Jayla." "I do." Those words mended the rift for a while. The holidays approached like a gathering storm. Jordan's family insisted she come home for Thanksgiving in Connecticut, and the thought of her pretending to be someone else gnawed at me. "Come with me," she pleaded over brunch at a diner in Midtown. "As my friend?" I asked, sarcasm lacing my tone. She nodded, eyes pleading. Against my better judgment, I agreed, packing my bags for the suburbs. The drive up was tense, radio static filling the silence. Her parents' house was a picture-perfect colonial, wreaths on the door, the scent of turkey wafting from the kitchen. Mrs. Harlan greeted us warmly, but her eyes lingered on me a beat too long. "So Jayla, Jordan says you're artistic." The word dripped with judgment. Dinner was a minefield. Politics, religion, subtle digs at city liberals. Jordan laughed along, her hand never reaching for mine under the table. That night, in the guest room, she slipped in after everyone slept. "I'm sorry," she whispered, curling against me. We held each other, the weight of unspoken words pressing down. But in the morning she was distant again, helping her mom with pies while I wandered the backyard, kicking at fallen leaves. On the drive back, I exploded. "I can't keep being your secret." She pulled over, tears flowing. "I know. I'll tell them soon." Back in the city, life resumed its frantic pace. I buried myself in work, designing logos for startups, while Jordan climbed the ladder at her firm. Our dates became more frequent, picnics in Prospect Park, museum visits to MoMA. One afternoon, as we admired a Rothko painting, its bold colors mirroring our passion, she turned to me. "You're my everything, Jayla." My heart soared. But betrayal lurked around the corner. It happened at her office holiday party, a glitzy affair in a Manhattan high-rise. I attended as her plus one, but she spent the evening networking, barely acknowledging me. Then I saw it. Her laughing with a colleague, a tall woman named Riley, their touches lingering. Jealousy flared, but I brushed it off. Until later that week when I found a text on her phone. "Last night was amazing. Can't wait for more." Our confrontation came swift and brutal. In her apartment, amidst the same clutter we'd once cleaned together, I held up the phone. "Who is she?" Jordan's face crumpled. "It's nothing. Just confusion." But the truth spilled out. She'd kissed Riley at the party, drunk and scared of our deepening commitment. I thought if I sabotaged us, it'd be easier to go back to pretending. The pain was visceral, like a knife twisting in my gut. "You betrayed me," I choked out, grabbing my coat. I stormed into the night, the city's lights blurring through tears. Days turned to weeks of radio silence. I threw myself into art, painting canvases of fractured hearts, the strokes angry and raw. Friends urged me to move on, but Jordan's absence was a void. Then on a snowy December evening, she showed up at my door, cheeks flushed from the cold. I ended it with Riley. It was a mistake. Skepticism warred with hope. We talked through the night, unpacking the fears that drove her actions. I was terrified of losing my family, my job, everything, she admitted. Forgiveness didn't come easy, but love's pull was stronger. We rebuilt slowly, brick by brick. Jordan started therapy, confronting her internalized homophobia. I supported her, attending sessions when she asked. Spring brought renewal, cherry blossoms blooming again, symbolizing our second chance. We took a weekend trip to the Hamptons, walking hand in hand on the beach, waves crashing like applause. But the real test came with her family. At Easter she invited me back, this time with intent. Over brunch she took a deep breath. Mom, Dad, I'm gay. And Jayla is my girlfriend. Silence descended like a blanket. Her father stood, face red. This is unacceptable. Her mother cried, quoting Bible verses. Jordan held firm, tears streaming. I love her. If you can't accept that, you'll lose me. They left in a huff, but seeds were planted. Weeks later, a tentative call from her mom. We need time, but we love you. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Our love deepened, woven into the fabric of everyday life. Lazy Sundays in bed with coffee and newspapers, exploring hidden gems in Queens. Jordan quit her soul-sucking job, starting a nonprofit for LGBTQ youth. I landed a big client, my designs gracing billboards across the city. Yet shadows of doubt lingered. One night, as thunder rumbled outside, Jordan turned to me. What if they never come around? I held her close. Then we build our own family. In that moment, vulnerability turned to strength. Highs and lows defined us. A promotion for me meant celebration at a rooftop bar, toasting to futures intertwined. But arguments flared about visibility, about pace. I want to shout our love from the rooftops, I said once, frustration boiling. She nodded, understanding growing. As summer returned, we planned a trip to California. Driving down the Pacific Coast Highway, wind in our hair. Stopping at Big Sur, cliffs dropping to the ocean, Jordan got down on one knee. Jayla, will you marry me? The ring was simple, a band of intertwined gold. Tears mingled with laughter. Yes, I whispered, the world expanding with possibility. Wedding planning became our new adventure. Amidst the chaos of New York life, we scoured venues, from intimate Brooklyn lofts to grand Hudson Valley estates. Friends rallied around us, my queer circle hosting engagement parties, Jordan's old college buddies offering tentative support. But her family's silence loomed like a ghost. One afternoon, while sampling cakes in a patisserie in Chelsea, her phone rang. It was her brother, Chris, the only sibling who'd reached out. Mom and Dad want to talk, he said. We drove up that weekend, nerves taut as guitar strings. At the dinner table, her father cleared his throat. We've been thinking. We don't understand, but we don't want to lose our daughter. It wasn't full acceptance, but a bridge. Jordan hugged them, tears flowing. Thank you. The wedding was set for fall in a vineyard upstate, leaves turning fiery reds and oranges. I walked down the aisle in a tailored suit, Jordan in a flowing white dress, her eyes locking on mine with unwavering love. Vows exchanged under an arch of blooms. In betrayal and forgiveness, we've found our truth. Cheers erupted, the city folk mingling with suburban relatives in uneasy harmony. Honeymoon in San Francisco followed, cable cars clanging, fog rolling over the Golden Gate. We explored the Castro, holding hands freely, inspired by the history of resilience. This is us, Jordan said, kissing me atop Twin Peaks, city lights twinkling below. Back home, life settled into a rhythm. We adopted a rescue dog, a scruffy mutt named Luna, who bounded through our now shared apartment. Mornings started with coffee runs to the corner bodega, evenings with home-cooked meals and Netflix binges. But challenges persisted. Jordan's work at the nonprofit exposed her to stories of rejection, mirroring her own. One case hit hard. A teen kicked out for being gay. We have to do more, she said, fire in her eyes. I supported her, volunteering on weekends. Our bond strengthened through service, turning personal pain into purpose. Yet old wounds surfaced. During a heated debate about politics, her family's conservative views clashing with our progressive ones, she snapped, "You don't get how hard it is to unlearn everything." I retreated, hurt, but we talked it out, as always emerging closer. A year in, pregnancy discussions arose. We researched fertility options, dreaming of a family. "A little girl with your smile," Jordan mused. The process was grueling: appointments, hormones, disappointments. After a failed attempt, despair hit. "What if it's not meant to be?" she cried. I held her. "We'll keep trying. Or adopt. Love finds a way." Success came on the third try. Jordan carried, her belly swelling with life. I attended every ultrasound, marveling at the heartbeat. "Our miracle," I whispered. Friends threw a baby shower in Central Park, gifts piling high. Her parents even sent a card, a small olive branch. As due date neared, anxiety mounted. Late one night, contractions started. We rushed to the hospital in a cab, traffic crawling through Manhattan. In the delivery room, I held her hand, coaching through pushes. Our daughter, Mia, arrived wailing, tiny and perfect. Holding her, tears blurred my vision. "She's here," Jordan breathed, exhausted but radiant. Parenthood transformed us. Sleepless nights in our cozy nursery, decorated with my murals of starry skies. Mia's first smile melted away fatigue. We navigated co-parenting, balancing careers and cuddles. Jordan's family visited tentatively, her mom cooing over the baby. "She's beautiful," she said, a thaw beginning. But drama resurfaced when an old flame of Jordan's, Mark the ex, reappeared, now reformed and apologetic. He texted, wanting closure. Jordan met him for coffee, assuring me it was innocent. Paranoia gripped me, echoes of Riley. "Why now?" I demanded. She explained. "To close that chapter fully." Trust wobbled, but we rebuilt, therapy helping. Mia's first birthday was a milestone. Park picnic with balloons and cake. Laughter rang out, family blending. Her grandparents attended, awkward hugs turning genuine. "We're proud," her dad admitted gruffly. Years passed in a blur. Mia grew into a spirited toddler, then a curious child, asking about our love story. Mommy and Mama met as friends, we told her, simplifying the drama. Our home became a haven filled with art, books, and love. Yet life threw curves. Jordan's nonprofit faced funding cuts, stress mounting. I took on more freelance to help. One evening, exhausted, she confessed lingering fears. "What if Mia faces hate because of us?" I reassured her. "We'll teach her strength." A pivotal moment came at Pride Parade. We marched as a family, rainbow flags waving. Jordan's parents joined, signs in hand. "It took time," her mom said, embracing us. "Healing complete." Our love, forged in fire, emerged unbreakable. Evenings on the fire escape, watching the city pulse, Mia asleep inside. "Through it all," Jordan whispered, "you're my truth." As Mia entered school, new chapters unfolded. Kindergarten in a progressive Brooklyn public school, where diversity was celebrated. But playground taunts stung. "Why two mommies?" Mia came home tearful. We sat her down, explaining love's many forms. "Families are like puzzles," I said. "Ours fits perfectly." Jordan nodded, her eyes fierce with protection. Work-life balance teetered. My design firm boomed, demanding travel. Jordan's nonprofit expanded, grants rolling in. We juggled, relying on a network of friends turned family. Date nights became rare treasures. Dinner at a hole-in-the-wall Italian spot, reminiscing about our chaotic start. Conflict arose when I was offered a job in LA, a dream opportunity with a major studio. "It's temporary," I argued. Jordan balked. "What about us?" "Mia." The fight escalated, old insecurities surfacing. "You're running from commitment," she accused. Hurt, I slept on the couch. Morning brought apologies, compromise. I'd commute, not relocate. The move tested us. Weeks apart, video calls bridging the gap. Mia's bedtime stories via screen, my heart aching. Jordan managed solo, her strength shining. Upon return, reunions were sweet. Appreciation deepened. Tragedy struck when Jordan's father fell ill. Heart attack, sudden and severe. We rushed to Connecticut. Hospital beeps echoing our fears. In the waiting room, her family united. "He's stable," the doctor said. Recovery was slow, but it mended fences further. "Life's too short for grudges," he grumbled from his bed, squeezing our hands. Inspired, Jordan organized a family retreat. A cabin in the Adirondacks. Hiking trails, bonfires, stories shared. Mia bonded with grandparents, laughter healing old wounds. "Thank you for pushing me," Jordan whispered that night, stars overhead. Back in the city, routine resumed with renewed gratitude. Mia's school play, us cheering from the front row. My art exhibited in a gallery, Jordan beaming proudly. "Your talent lights up the world," she said. But betrayal's shadow returned subtly. A colleague at Jordan's work, a charismatic activist named Sam, grew close. Late nights collaborating, texts frequent. Jealousy simmered. One evening I voiced it. "Is there something?" She denied, hurt. "After all we've been through?" Proof emerged innocently. A group photo, nothing more. Shame washed over me. "I'm sorry." Trust issues linger. We recommitted, therapy reinforcing bonds. Mia's 10th birthday marked a decade of us. Party in the park, friends and family. Toast to resilience. That night, alone, Jordan and I reflected. "From that dusty box to here," she marveled. "Worth every tear." Adolescence brought turbulence. Mia rebelled, questioning her identity. "Am I like you?" she asked. We supported, no pressure. Turns out she was straight but an ally fierce. "Love is love," she declared at a school assembly. Our 20th anniversary approached. We renewed vows in the same vineyard, Mia as maid of honor. "In sickness and health, betrayal and bliss," we pledged. Her parents attended, fully embraced. Aging gracefully, we traveled Europe, Asia, Mia joining sometimes. Empty nest loomed as she headed to college. "NYU like us." "Proud of you," we said, tears at drop-off. Alone again, we rediscovered passions. Jordan wrote a memoir about coming out, a bestseller. I illustrated it, our story immortalized. Interviews followed, inspiring others. Health scares came, my minor surgery, Jordan's anxiety battles. We faced them together, unbreakable. In quiet moments on our balcony overlooking the East River, we'd hold hands. "That day in your room changed everything," I'd say. She'd smile. "For the better." Our love, a tapestry of drama and depth, stood as testament to human resilience. In America's melting pot, we found our place, hearts entwined forever. As decades wove on, our story became legend among friends, the epic of Jayla and Jordan. From hidden journals to lifelong partnership. Mia graduated, pursuing environmental law in D.C., calling weekly with updates. "You two set the bar high," she teased. Retirement beckoned. We sold the apartment, moving to a cottage in the Hudson Valley, surrounded by nature's hush. Mornings with bird songs, afternoons gardening. Jordan's nonprofit thrived under new leadership, her legacy enduring. Grandchildren arrived. Mia's twins, a boy and girl, bundles of energy. Visits filled the house with chaos and joy. "Tell us about when you met," they'd beg. We'd recount, sanitize for young ears. It started with cleaning a room. But in private, we'd remember the raw edges, the betrayal, the tears, the triumphs. "No regrets," Jordan said one evening, as we watched the sunset paint the sky in pinks and golds. Health declined slowly. Jordan's arthritis, my fading eyesight. We adapted, love our anchor. One crisp autumn day, she took my hand. "You've been my adventure." Tears welled. "And you my home." She passed peacefully in her sleep at 82, surrounded by family. The void was immense, a chasm in my soul. Funeral in the vineyard, eulogies pouring love. Mia held me. She lives in us. Alone, I wandered the cottage, memories echoing. Her journals preserved, a treasure. I wrote letters to our grandkids, sharing wisdom. Embrace truth, forgive deeply. Joining a senior LGBTQ group, I found community, sharing our tale. Love like that? Rare, they'd say. It inspired even in grief. Years later at 90, I sat on the porch, wind whispering. Mia visited often, grandkids grown. "We're here," she'd assure. My final days were serene, visions of Jordan dancing in my mind. "Wait for me," I murmured. We were buried side by side under an oak tree, inscription reading, In truth and love forever united. Our story a beacon of humanity. Proof that from deepest wounds blooms profound connection. In America's vast landscape, two souls found eternity.